Shubham, how did you come to know about this program?
I've been here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. How long back?
I guess 2 months.
Oh, okay. That time which chapter we were doing? You remember?
Not the chapter. Actually.
Oh, Jayadvaita Maharaj.
Yes.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we will start. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tvam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakha Vitamsha He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jarapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namusute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vacha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Shivaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhadana Swamiti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhadana Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shamnevadi Paschata Deshatarine Mukapati Vachana Pambam Nandai Tegire Yet Kripada Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Parmananda Bhadavam Hare Krishna. So we are in the 14th chapter now. So let's close this. Again, welcome everyone and thank you for coming. It's a Thursday, office time. Still you were able to take out your time. So very grateful. And we are in the 14th chapter. Before starting, I have a quiz. So, as if in case you have watched cricket, I used to watch a lot. So, during cricket, what sometimes they do is, the opponent runs a roller on the pitch, heavy roller. Do you know why? Kaiku. Why they run heavy roller on the pitch? Arey, very good if you don't know. That means you don't watch. My old samskaras. हाँ अरे काही ते बोलता
For batting.
See, we have some. Yes. Why? So that the pitch become hard, flat. So it comes easily onto the bat. I mean, you don't start watching it. So similarly, when you go to office, the heart becomes like hard. Our heart becomes hard, like pitch. If anyone pounds a bouncer, it easily comes on the bat. And that's why we start with Kirtan. Kirtan makes the land soft, so that when the seeds of devotion is sowed, it can go inside. So it is not like a filler. It is to make our land of heart soft. Like if you see farmers, they don't start putting the seeds. they first take the tractor and usko thoda soft karte, they'll do 3-4 times so that it becomes, now instead of land it becomes a soil, right? And after that they start putting the seeds. So the Hare Krishna mantra that we do, you see any ISKCON class, even if it is starting late, it will start with Kirtan. The reason is to make the flat land soft, right? So that is the reason we do Kirtan. So thank you, Prabhu. And obviously this is, you can think of it like the reason that I gave why we do Kirtan is a very rudimentary, that's a basic. But actually when we start doing Kirtanam, it brings us closer to Krishna much more. That is like a higher thing, but at least bare minimum, it gives us a opportunity to hear the glories of Krishna in a more palatable way, more easier way. That is the reason we do Kirtan. So I just thought I will at least start with explaining the importance of Kirtan. Some of you might have heard about this. I've said many times before. Sadhu Sangha retreat, it happens in May, in the month of May. You are coming from? Yeah. So it's like 3 days retreat it is. It's literally a retreat. Prashadama is a retreat. 3-day retreat and full day. It starts at 8 a.m. 4 a.m. It goes till 10:30 p.m. 10:30 p.m. And how in modeling and all or something, we have showstoppers like that we hear, no? So similarly there also it's like some kirtanis will be like at the end because people will be ready to hear him. Because it's late, then people want to sleep. So, but we like Madhav Prabhu and Gaurvani Prabhu. So full day kirtan. Imagine, and the devotees are dancing as if it's early morning time, like that. Because there is so much joy in kirtan, chanting the holy names of the Lord. There is a lot of joy in glorifying. Like how you are in stadium and you will be shouting, Sachin Chakka, like that you will shout, right? Oh, marega nahi, pata nahi, jo bhi hai. Right? But so much enthusiasm. You feel like you are only batting there. Right? Once I went to the IPL match, long back. Doesn't matter. So that person, some Mumbai Indians guy, he got bowled. I got so angry, I just hit like hand down and some, in front someone was sitting and he got so much I was engrossed. As if, I got out. So he said, Thanda le beta, thanda le. So, anyways, why I was saying that? Yeah, we get so much engrossed. So similarly, this engrossed in all these material things will not give us any happiness. It will only give us misery. To us also, to others also. Right? But when we chant the holiness of the Lord, it gives happiness to everyone. It gives happiness to everyone. In fact, Srila Prabhupada says that all the problems of life can be solved if, not our life, everyone's, if we chant the holiness of the Lord. Because it's like a yajna. Earlier times yajna used to happen to get rains and all this. Similarly, Harinam yajna is the most potent yajna for this age of Kali. Kaler dosha nidherajan asti ekam armunan kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param rajet. In this age of Kali, there are a lot of faults. Right? And I always say, if you don't believe me, you can ask your spouse or roommates. They can give you a list of faults of yours. Right? There are a lot of faults. But there is one good quality, and that is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's very potent. In this Kali Yuga, there are in every yuga, there is some yoga dharma. In every yoga, if you see. During the time of Satya Yuga, what was the yoga dharma? Meditation. Meditation was the yoga dharma. You see Dhruv Maharaj, ek tang pe khade hoke, he was doing that meditation. During Treta Yuga, sacrifices. You see, Lord Ramachandra was doing sacrifices during Treta Yuga. That was the yoga dharma. They were also chanting, but the yoga dharma, the most potent was sacrifices, yajnas. Similarly, in Dwapar Yuga also, the most potent was deity worship. Now also you do deity worship, but the maximum benefit that you get is from deity worship during Dwapar Yuga. And similarly, in Kali Yuga, the most potent is the Harinam Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So again, I would like to thank all of you for coming and giving your time to Thursday evening. There's so many other things you could have done. but we chose to come here for the session. So we are in the three modes of nature, and as I have mentioned before many times, this section of Bhagavad Gita is the most important chapter of the entire Bhagavad Gita, especially for people who are looking for practical things, how to change my life. So this chapter is the most important in that sense, and Krishna talks about the three modes. We'll discuss the verses that we have discussed till now, so that if in case you have forgotten, oh yeah, there's one more thing. There's a good news and a bad news. What would you like to hear first? Bad news. Bad news is there is going to be a quiz. Okay, next. What is the good? You want to know good news? It will be next week, not today. But come next week. ऐसा नहीं कि अरे ये सब बोलेंगे oh जी today health is not good, yeah, or they will say manager is having a meeting till 7 o'clock, or they will say I'm traveling, some 3-4 reasons. Now I also buy it. But it's fun. You can ask Akhila. She has been attending the Fremont sessions, so it is fun. We will have quiz and using Kahoot. Have you heard Kahoot? It's a lot of fun. So it is like fastest will get more points. And if you don't know, you can do akkad bakkad whatever. I mean, it's up to you. But it is fun, believe me. So attend, and I'll tell you one thing. Of all the things that you have heard in the class, you'll forget everything. Whatever comes in the quiz, you will remember. Now after Fremont class, I remember among the purifier, I am wind. I was always getting confused between sunlight and this. So now after that Gapla I did in Fremont, I was giving the class. This quiz will help you. We'll do in the second half, and it will be till whatever we cover today. So now today everyone will say, Prabhu, one verse is okay today. Usually this year we can do more verses. So whatever we cover today, till then, and the syllabus will be mostly from the videos and purports. Purport is a commentary by Srila Prabhupada. So maybe we'll do like 10-11 total, 10-11 verses together. You just read. It will not be like Krishna is dash, Supreme Personality of Godhead. It will be the answer. It will not be like that. It will be like sensible it will be. Okay. So I just wanted to say that. And it will be like Kaun by Karupati, A, B, C, D. Like that. 4 options will be there, and you can choose something. And if any questions, then we can discuss during that period. Okay. All good? You are coming.
Which verses you said?
14th chapter from verse 1 maybe till 12, 13, 14. We'll see how much we cover. No, I'm not going to do 14. 14 is a very important topic. It talks about death. So ये थोड़ा भारी हो जाएगा आज. Next week करेंगे. Okay. So before that, mostly 13. Let's see. Okay, we'll start. 3 modes of material nature. Okay, before that, we'll do a quick recap. Bhagavad Gita is divided into how many parts? 3. Very good. So ratta. First 3 part talks about karma, right? What is the duty? How to perform the duty. Middle 6 chapters 7 to 12 talks about bhakti yoga, right? And last 6 chapters talks about jnana yoga, right? So middle 6 chapters talks about love, right? And last 6 chapters talks about how to detachment. How to do detachment. And even if you have not undergone the first 12 chapters, still, even if you have done the last 6 chapters, you can understand the essence of entire Gita. Why? Because every section is independent itself. People who are, intellectual people, for them, last 6 chapters are presented. Same things Krishna will say, but in a more jargon wala way, they will titillate the mind, titillate the intelligence. People who are like more softer, I just want to love Krishna. So for them, 7 to 12 is there. And people are like, who wants to keep working like donkeys, 9 AM to 9 AM. ऐसा मतलब एकदम शिद्दत से काम करना है. So for them it is these chapters 1 to 6. In all that, Krishna will connect with Bhakti Yoga, but depends on what path or what kind of consciousness. क्या बोला? Tendencies. Yes, tendencies. Tendencies one has. Based on that, Krishna will channelize us towards Bhakti Yoga, like that. Okay. And why this all was spoken? Because Arjuna suddenly, he said, I don't want to fight. Right? I don't want to fight. And he gave some reasons. And Krishna says that, how it's possible? You have to fight. Upon itna sab, I've done all this setup and all, and now you're not going to fight. So then he starts speaking that why you should fight. right? Vaishya, the entire second chapter starts from there, where Krishna starts to speak. Okay, and now we have entered the 14th chapter, and this is the title is Three Modes of Material Nature. It is a very important chapter because we have to recognize what is our nature. What is our nature, right? Once we have recognized our nature, then we can accordingly fix ourselves based on where we want to go. Okay, and next class we will see that how the three modes of nature decides what life you will get in the next birth. That also decides based on our nature and how what we are doing at the time of death. It all, that's why those three verses 14, 15, 16, around that one we'll do in the next class. It's a very important section. It says death in three modes. You know, in fact, there are conversations also that can be done in three ways. Conversation. So, okay, first before that, what are the three modes of nature? Rajasic, Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Okay, Sattvic is what? Mode of goodness, right? Mode of, some people you see, you feel always happy-go-lucky, right? वैसे, so they are mode of goodness people. Rajasic is like काम, शिद्दत से काम करना है, पूरे दिन काम करना है, बस 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, तब तक I can do work, I'll keep doing work. I'll go crazy that time, I'll keep doing work. Right? This is mode of passion. And mode of ignorance, there were two words used, right? Neither they are happy, nor they're passionate, they are just sleeping. Right? Just sleeping, lazy, pramāde, all these kind of tendencies are in there. You have seen people sitting on the couch, watching Netflix for a full day. You know, full day, morning they'll start till night. They'll just sit popcorn udari, pani udari, everything is there only. Full day there. In the end of the day, they'll feel, wow, what I have accomplished. Full day I was watching Netflix. Right? So that is mode of ignorance. So there are three modes that Krishna talks about. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And last time we discussed that how just by reading the sections we can understand what kind of nature I have. Right? Like see, if you see Bay Area, in general, we'll discuss about this more in detail. In general, it has rajasic tendencies. Some achievers hai yahan par. Everyone wants to be achiever. I'll give you a simple, even in devotional life. In any part of city when I go, any part of city, I ask how many bhakti rickshaws you have. Just casual. You know how many satellite centers you have. They will say 5, 6. That also is hard to manage like that. In Bay Area, we have 50 centers. Everyone wants to do some service, right? So but they are dovetailing it towards Krishna, right? Once a friend of mine who was staying here, he moved to Denver. So I was just calling him and I was nudging him. Yahan ajana, like move here. He said, you guys are crazy. You just keep working. I don't want to become crazy. And that time I realized that, see, that's why all the entrepreneurs, all the big inventions starts from here. This place has some rajas. And it is normal. See, if you go to Rishikesh, you will not feel like, I want to do something. Ganges, you sit near Ganges water. Will you feel, I want to make $1 million company? No. You just feel like, I just want to be here. Right? That mode of goodness, automatically the place where you are, you feel mode of goodness. Similarly, if you are in a bar, will you feel that let's meditate here? No, you'll not feel like that. No, don't go there. I mean, but I'm just saying, right? Certain places have certain consciousness, certain natures are there. So if you're in a certain place, it creates that kind of. So that's why it is important to know that we are going to discuss. There are 10 ways, there are 10 guna, or I would say 10 things by which you can determine which mode you are in. Like that. We are going to discuss from Srimad Bhagavata. So, and this what we are discussing will be elaborated more in the entire 14, 17, 18 chapters. Today we are just going to discuss the characteristics of the three modes. But then charity in three modes, devotion in three modes, devotion be in three modes, like that. So, and in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is even more greatly described. In fact, I've spoken about this before. Have you heard about Kapha, Pitta, Kapha, Vata? Have you heard about these three things? Even that has a connection with the three modes of nature. Vata is more passion, ignorance. Pitta is more goodness. Kapha is so like that. So based on our nature, we have certain doshas. that. Anyways, we'll start. Okay, let's start. Oh yeah, I was saying why I brought this topic of three modes. So conversations are also of three modes. The lowest, the mode of ignorance conversation is known as vitanda. Have you heard this term before? Vitanda. Vitanda means the only goal is to defeat the other person. In marriages, when husband and wife, this happens in the quarrel. The only goal is in the argument is तेरे to हरा के रहूंगा in the conversation. That is the goal. Only to defeat the other person. Hey, you said like this. Hey, but you said like that. No, like that. Vitanda is known as. So, conversation in the mode of ignorance. The only goal is to defeat the other person. Above that is conversation mode of passion. In that, the only goal is that I want to win. Whatever happens, I want to win this debate. I don't want to learn. I just want to prove that I'm right. Social media and in that media houses, that happens. Everyone is shouting, top of the voice. Even the reporter who is the main presenter, he was shouting. Right? Then he mutes everyone and then he shouts. Right? So that is mode of passion. That is same conversation happening but in mode of passion. It's known as jalpa. And then the higher mode of goodness is vada. In vada, both the parties are trying to lift each other, trying to learn. The goal is not to win. The goal is to learn. And higher than that, above the three modes, we are going to discuss after 19th verse in this chapter. There is something called above the three modes also, how to transcend the three modes. Above the three modes is known as samvad. That's why, have you heard? Samvad. Samvad is something that is conversation but related to Krishna. Something out of these three modes of nature. Three modes of nature. That's why we say Arjuna, Krishna, Arjuna, Samvade. Krishna, Arjuna, Samvade. Samvade means conversation above the three modes. Like that. Okay, we will start. So what we'll do is, everyone will read maybe two translations and then we will start the session. How many verses you have done till now? 8. So 4 people, 4 into 2, then we will start our session. Okay. So, okay, we will start with you. You are able to see the screen?
Yeah.
You are able to see the screen? Okay. You can see from the mobile. Or you, up to you, wherever you are comfortable. You are able to see? Okay. Everyone? Okay. Good. And Harshal, sir, you able to see? Okay. Go ahead. Two verses.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again, I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection.
Right? So, talking about again glorification of the chapter.
By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or distributed at the time of dissolution.
Disturbed, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Next, what's your name?
Shweta.
Shweta. Okay. Shweta. Oh, Shweta. Yes. Okay. Harshal, you want to read?
The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father.
Thank you. So, till here we discussed. Now 5 to 8 is the 3 modes that are going to start. So before that, Krishna is talking about the material nature, this entire Prakriti. And he, the seed-giving father who have inserted everything is Krishna. Right? Okay, now we will start the 3 modes. Go ahead.
Material nature consists of 3 modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, Almighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
Right, so mode of goodness also has some problems. Not as compared to passion and ignorance, but even that has problems. Mode of goodness, we'll see. So what are the 3 gunas? Three modes? Passion and ignorance. This is important, okay. It's like ABCD of entire 14th chapter. Things will build on top of this. So this is very important to understand the 3 modes: goodness, passion and ignorance. Last time we discussed in detail, today also we'll discuss. Okay, goodness, passion. It's a very important topic. Okay, you discuss the 5th one, right? One more, go ahead.
O sinless one,
Who is the sinless one? Arjuna, correct. Very good.
O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge.
So this is mode of goodness. There are two things are there. Two things happen basically in goodness: sukha and jnana. You cultivate knowledge and you have happiness. Naturally, that happiness is there. Okay, two things: happiness and jnana, sukha and jnana. These two things are, you can say, characteristic of a person who is in mode of goodness. Okay. You will read?
The mood of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings.
Right? First 1 trillion, then 2 trillion, then 3 trillion. I know one friend, I asked him, when you want to retire? He said, बस 10 crore आ जाए. So मैं retire हो जाऊँगा. That time only I know, नहीं करेगा. Then after 5 years I called him. तो हो गया, पहुँच गया. नहीं आया. तो आप retire? बोले नहीं, अब 20 के लिए. Right? That's a mind. And he stays in India. So the thing is, the mind will say that और चाहिए, और चाहिए, और चाहिए, और चाहिए. Right? Like that. ये दिल मांगे more. Right? All these ads have, screwed up our thought process. I'm loving it, just do it. Right? And did it. And then screwed up. Right? So these ads have actually, this instilled so much negative emotions. Like this, what we said, dil maange more. Yeah, anyways, go ahead. Who was reading? Yes.
O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions.
Right? So mode of passion, what is the characteristic? Unlimited desires. Right? And we can see most of us will be in that zone. Right? Unlimited desires. Whatever we want to this, first IC3, then 4, then 5, then VP, then CEO board of directors, then maybe president of the country, something, or Doge, something, kuch to, we want to keep doing something, right? So that is unlimited desires. There is no end only. That is mode of passion, right? And see, for people, who are very ambitious, and you talk about satisfaction, they don't understand only. Then they'll say, so you are saying that being ambitious is wrong? See, because they're at that zone, for them understanding satisfaction is like alien term. It's like jadoo, they don't understand only this term only, they don't understand. What is the satisfaction? Why should we become satisfied? Have you seen that one pep talk by this Steve Ballmer? Developers. Have you seen that? What he was trying to do, just instilling that, let's work hard like a donkey, right? So, and passion, mode of passion is like that, unlimited desires. Like I want to keep working till my, I fall dead on the ground, like that. Just keep working. That is mode of passion. But even if we are in that zone, we discussed last time that if we take the shelter of Bhagavad Gita, then we will use that inclination towards Krishna consciousness. Right? Towards Krishna consciousness. Like if you see, starting a program needs mode of passion. Right? You have to think, you have to plan, you have to market. A lot of things come into picture when you start a program. Right? But if every week it is that kind of zone only is there, then it is not good. Then to sustain it, you need what you need? Goodness. You need goodness. See, I'll give you a simple example, then you will remember. Who creates the entire world? Brahmaji. Right? Sub creation is done by Brahmaji. Who maintains it? Vishnu. So he's the controller of the mode of goodness. Right? Brahmaji is the controller of the mode of passion. And Lord Shiva, who does the destruction, he is the controller of the mode of ignorance. He is not in mode of ignorance. He is the controller. Because every deity is controlling something. Right? Like throat, someone is controlling. Eyes, someone is controlling. Eyes controlled by sun, like that. So everyone is controlling something. That's what their service is. So for maintaining any project, you need mode of goodness. If you are a person who is a guy, imagine you are starting, then you get bored. You start, you get bored, and you stop. That is passion and ignorance. You are starting something but get bored. You see, some people are like that. They'll start something, yes, let's do. After 3 weeks, they say, hey, pakra hai yaar, kuch nahi. They'll stop it. That is more people who are, passion is there, but ignorance also there. Tell you one story. This is, I really where he was inspired. So around now it is going well, but around there was a time when we started our Stanford program in Palo Alto. We started in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. It was going well. Things were going well. Suddenly 2019, no, we were getting sometimes 2 people, 3 people, and that also ad hoc. So, and we were cooking. That was our service. And I was thinking that is it worth doing so much effort, this, that. And then at some point of time, I dropped the ball. That Prabhu, it is just too much. Office time, this, that, it's not getting. Sundaram Prabhu, who was the leader of that Stanford program, even if there was one person, he was consistently doing it. And now it's again flourishing. So that we need to have that mode of goodness to maintain things. For maintenance also, we need that, right? So passion is needed for creation. That is needed. But we should operate towards Krishna consciousness. And then for maintenance, we need mode of goodness. So that's why this nature is important to understand. We should have those people in our team. Even if we have that, we need to have those people also who have that qualities. Okay. So we discussed mode of passion. Okay. Now darkness. What is that? That in childhood there was Kilvish. Have you heard? No? It's good. Okay. Shaktiman, in that it was there. Kilvish. How many of you have heard about it? No one? I feel like very old guy. In that it was there, no? Yeah. Andhera Kayam Rahe. Like that. Old days. See, I mean, movies, so much I remember. Yeah. 8th verse, who was doing?
O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul.
Right? So see, you can remember as 3C. Mode of goodness, comfort. It can go into too much comfort. Mode of passion, crazy. And mode of ignorance, lazy. Okay? Comfort, crazy, lazy. So this is indolence. Full time they will feel like, I'm feeling very tired. I'm feeling always, subah, morning, evening, afternoon, they'll say, I'm feeling very tired. They're a mode of ignorance people. Right? People who keep drinking. For them, it's like mode of ignorance only going on, full day. Right? Sleep, they keep sleeping. 5, 12, 13, 14 hours is a minimum. They'll sleep like that. And because of all this pramāde, they're completely mad. They don't understand what is right and what is wrong. For them, what is supposed to be right, for them, that is wrong. And things that are supposed to be wrong, for them, that is right. Like that. So now we are going to start our class. Wow, 7:30. Okay, we'll start. Yeah, now, everybody understood the 3 modes that we discussed? Mode of goodness, happiness, and jnāna. Mode of passion is what? See, this is going to come. So I'm revising. Mode of passion is what? Unlimited desires, right? Unlimited desires, craziness, just want. And then finally mode of ignorance, pramāde, lazy, sleepy. All these qualities are in mode of destruction. For destruction you need mode of ignorance, joker, right? Joker. So, read 2014. Okay, so we'll start. This verse we'll just quickly do. The next verse we'll elaborate. Okay. Sattvaṁ sukhe sañjayati. Rajaḥ karmaṇi bhārata. See, just by reading you can sattvaṁ sukhe. Sukhe, right? It will become. Sattva people will become sukha. Rajaḥ karma. Right? Karma. Karmaṇi. Right? jñānam āvṛtya tu tamaḥ. Āvṛtya means to covered. What is covered? Covered? What is covered? Jnān. Intelligence is covered. Too, but for whom? Tamaḥ people. For tamas. For tamas people, jnāna is covered. And why? Two? Because first two is still okay. Two is like neither one, neither two. Nothing is working out. That's why word two is. Two is not two. No, not that two. This two is what? But. If you see in Srimad Bhagavatam also in Sanskrit, two actually means but. Okay. Pramāde sañjayaty. Pramāde is madness. Right? So two things are there. Jñānam, āvṛtya and pramāde. These two things are for what people?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. Correct. Ignorance. Okay. So why I'm skipping you understood? Because we just discussed this entire part. Right? Next verse is very important. Who wants to read? Okay.
O son of Bharata, the modes of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive action, and ignorance, covering one's knowledge, binds one to madness.
Right? So goodness, happiness, passion, fruitive action, right? And ignorance, knowledge gets covered, and madness also, because he doesn't understand what is right. Right? A drunkard, tell him about you are not his body, you are the soul. He'll say yes, but he will not understand. Right? So their knowledge is completely, for them it is like they will not able to understand only spiritual life. Correct? Like that. And similarly, for crazy people, for who are completely in work, they'll say, yeah, I know, but I am too busy to understand all these things. Right? Sometimes people say, right? We call them, we ask them, please come to the program. They'll say, very busy, as if they are the CEO of the company. Right? So it's like that. Okay. Let's read the purport, because it is very important to understand these three modes. It is why it is important, because see, why we are putting so much effort. I could have easily said, okay, the chapter is over. We have all understood. We have to understand that our natures are one of these three, and we have to dovetail that nature towards Krishna, towards spirituality. Then that mode, being in that mode is still okay, especially the first two modes. We have to dovetail it towards spiritual life. Otherwise, even that mode can give us trouble. Okay. Piyush, you want to read?
A person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way.
Right? Sometimes you see, Srila Prabhupada says, some PhD will write a book on Bhagavad Gita, but he has no love for Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada says, armchair philosophy. He'll sit in a chair, he'll smoke cigarette, and he'll write the commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And he's jnāni in the sense of, scholarly person, and he's satisfied, but doesn't want to inquire about the higher truths. He'll write the commentary, because that gives him titillation of the brains. Right? Oh, Sanskrit, I want to understand what is the Sanskrit term. This, that, all this he will do gymnastics. But what is the essence, what is written, that will not try to implement. So sometimes the problem with goodness is, they will be satisfied with, because see, passion, what happens? Because they become crazy, they start to understand the nature of this material world. And then they have capacity, they might take to mode of goodness or Shuddha Sattva, right? But if someone who is satisfied, then they will think everything is going good. What is the problem? Because of that, they will never inquire the higher truths of life. So you understood, right? Mode of goodness has this problem. What? Comfort. You feel that this life is good. Like that. That kind of mode we become. So that's why it is important that even if you are jnanis and all that, that's why this chapter is there, 14 to. Even if you have jnani, still you can come to the level of bhakti yoga. Like that. Good.
A man in the mode of passion may be engaged in fruitive activity. He owns as much as he can and spends for good cause. Sometimes he tries to open hospitals, give to charity institutes, etc. These are signs of one in the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance covers knowledge. In the mode of ignorance, whatever one does is good neither for him nor for anyone.
Right? Neither for him. See, think about it. People sometimes say, I'm drinking, I'm a social drinker. Right? Then social when becomes casual, then casual say something, I don't know the terms. But right, it just, and then they will say that leave it. They'll say, hey, I can leave anytime. Right? But they're not able to leave it. Right? Similarly, movies, they'll keep watching movies. First day, full day, they'll keep watching movies. Cricket. I know one friend of mine. He came to the temple at 11 a.m. and his eyes were this big. I said, full day he was like night he must be working, I thought. He said, I watched the IPL match, I'm feeling so happy today. After a long time I watched entire night I was watching the IPL match. I said, what fun is there? Right, sorry, IPL or cricket, whatever, some test match. Something I was watching. Full night just wasted. Ignorance, the night time is ignorance time. So one has to be in ignorance, in the sense of one has to be sleeping. That's why the night has been made. But if you go against the nature of the day, then it will only give us trouble. It will only give us trouble. So Daytime is passion time. That's why during the office time, that's why the office time is 9 to 5. That's a passion time. And morning time is goodness time. So goodness time should be used for goodness purposes. Night time should be used, ignorance time should be used for ignorance purposes. Passion time should be used for passion purposes. That's why all this day, everything is divided into 3 parts, 3 natures. So important to know. Right? So now we are going to discuss a very important point, which is competition. How many of you like competition? We'll see the competition in the 3 modes also now. Okay. Rajastamascha vibhuya sattvaṁ bhavati bhārata rajasattvaṁ tamaśchaiva tamasattvaṁ rajastatha. This is a very, very important verse. This talks about there is a constant competition between the 3 modes of becoming superior. Constant competition is happening. And who will become superior? Based on whom we are getting attracted to. Whom we are getting attracted. This continues. And what kind of objects we are keeping around. We'll discuss about that. Based on that, we will be absorbed in that modes. Like that. Okay. Who wants maybe someone from here. Sharvani, you want to read the translation?
Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy.
Right? Like for example, think of a drunkard. Drunkard may be thinking that no, this is not for me. I should not be drinking. I should not be drinking. So that mode of goodness is little bit coming. But finally he says, and he will drink it. So now, mode of ignorance is overpowered. His mode of goodness. Right? So there is constant strife. And all depends on, if you have taken shelter of scriptures, then you will be able to overcome the lower modes of nature. Mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Right? So this is what this verse is saying. Okay. Let me see how big it is. Okay, let's read the purport. It is important. Then 11, 12, 13, we'll just read it through. Will you? Yeah.
When the mode of passion is prominent, the mode of goodness and ignorance are defeated. When the mode of goodness is prominent, passion and ignorance are defeated. And when the mode of ignorance is prominent, passion and goodness are defeated. This competition is always going on. Therefore, one who is actually intent on advancing in Krishna consciousness has to transcend these 3 modes. The prominence of some certain modes of nature is manifested in one's dealing, in his activities, in eating, etc.
The grossest way you can understand in which mode you operate in is the kind of eating habits you have. You see, in any temple, you will never see the consumption of meat. Or, I'll go more detailed. In any Vaishnava temple, you will never see a consumption of onion and garlic. Any Vaishnava temple. First time when I went to Tirupati, because I was coming from ISKCON background, I felt that they were serving prasadam. I mean, they serve at the end of the entire austerity of standing, and then then getting the darshan of Tirupati Balaji. As I was thinking, maybe they might have onion garlic. I don't know that time. By the time I had stopped already, the ISKCON, and then I just asked one of the pandas there, and he looked at me as if I am saying something. And that time I came to know that in any Vaishnava temple you go, and that's when my appreciation increased more. It was not like some ISKCON they have pulled, let's say, bring some new rules. This is very common among, because that kind of food brings us down to the passion ignorance. See, just by cutting onion you will cry. Right? It happens, no? Why is it? That nature, that food has that nature. In fact, I'll tell you, if you put onion garlic, right? The only taste, I'm cook also, so I can tell you some bits and pieces. If you eat, you will get mostly the onion taste only. Onion and garlic. It empowers or overpowers. Sorry, not empowers. Overpowers all the other tastes. All the other tastes. Onion garlic has such high that. And why it was started, because meat ke saath you need something, because meat is completely bland. So you need something very, very strong. So people started adding this, and then it got pervaded towards entire India like that. But otherwise, if you see Vaishnav, in Vaishnav temples, It is not encouraged. In fact, it is not served only. Because it brings you to the down to the level of rajas and tamas. So that's why this is, and it's the grossest. The basic thing that you can understand what kind of modes we are in operating in, or we will start operating in, is the kind of eating habits we have. Tea, intoxication, all these kind of things. See, people, they think, oh, tea, I just drink like that. But tell them to stop tea for 1 week. They'll start getting headache. Why it is? That means that is addiction, right? If you don't drink milk, will you start getting headache? No. If you don't drink water, no. I mean, that's not headache, everything will ache. But see, but if you eat food, then still you will be able to sustain. But see, if tea, coffee you stop, then you start getting headache and this ache, what ache, you get irritated, right? Because there is addiction. We think, oh no, we are just eating for style. No, that's not like that. We start getting in that modes like that. That's why, see, first thing that is added is eating, then etc. Everything has a subtle way. Eating, we will be discussing more than 10 things if we have time. Okay, go ahead. Who was reading? Yes, please.
All this will be explained in later chapters. But if one wants, he can develop by practice the mode of goodness and thus defeat the mode of ignorance and passion. One can similarly develop the mode of passion and defeat ignorance and goodness. Or one can develop the mode of ignorance and defeat goodness and passion. Although there are these three modes of material nature, if one is determined, he can be blessed by the mode of goodness, and by transcending the mode of goodness, he can be situated in pure goodness, which is called Vasudeva state.
Vasudev. What is the state? Vasudev state. It is also the other term that is used as Shuddha Sattva. The mode of goodness is known as Sattva. And above the Sattva is Shuddha Sattva. This Shagwal just wrote in the commentary, it will be elaborated from verse number 19th. The last section of the 14th chapter. That will be discussed more in detail. Okay, go ahead. So I will not talk about this right now. Okay.
A state in which one can understand the science of God. By the manifestation of particular activities, it can be understood in what mode of nature one is situated.
Yeah. So now 11, 12, 13 again talks about the three modes. So you must be thinking, why same thing Krishna is speaking? See, you have to understand, Krishna just spoke the verses, but we are already explaining the commentaries on it. So because of that, you might be feeling it is repetitive. But for Arjuna, he is not reading the commentaries, he is just getting the slokas. You understood, no? What I'm saying? So now Krishna is summarizing how the 11, 12, 13, what happens to the person, how he sees the world. People from mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Okay. You will see center flesh moment here. You will see. Okay, we'll repeat after me. Sarvadvareshu desmin prakasha upajayate. You understood? Center fresh moment. This was center fresh, no? Dimag ki batti jala de, sab jagah jaise. So same, dwara is gates and prakash. From all the gates, light is coming out like that. So that is for mode of goodness. We'll see. There is no torch inside. We'll discuss what does it mean. So, jñānam yada tada vidyāt vivriddham sattvaṁ Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Translation? Maybe you want to read, Aishwarya?
The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge.
So what is it saying? When the all gates of body is illuminated by knowledge. What does it mean? It's not like some, you will see some light from all the parts of the gates. No. It means that while anything that is, why are senses used? Senses are used to intake things. And the intake of things gets registered in the mind. Okay. So the senses, having a torch, think like that. Someone is on the gate and the light is on. Then you will be able to recognize whether I should allow this person to come in or no. But if the light is off, you will not be able to see whether to allow or not. So by jñānam, mode of goodness, the gates are illumined with knowledge so that they know whether I should intake this thing or not. For example, let's say some criticism talk is going on. Some people are criticizing about some things, right? And you're hearing that. And you're realizing that it is not good for me. Why should I hear? So now because you have been illuminated by knowledge, now you will not intake it. You will say, "Arey, kuch aur baat, let's talk something else." Or you will say, "I have something else to do," right? Or let's say you are seeing some movies, and you feel like, "Why am I watching it? No point." So basically, the gates are illuminated by knowledge, and how that knowledge is coming from Bhagavad Gita. So you understand, this is not for me. Let us someone is eating some meat, you see that, you feel, "No, I want to step out." So what happens? Your eating, your gate of mouth is also now illuminated by knowledge. Basically, you know whether I should intake or not. Understood? What does illuminated means? Okay, and there are 9 gates. We'll see what are 9 gates. You also know, but just okay. Chandana, you will do it? Go ahead.
There are 9 gates in the body: 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genitals, and the anus. When every gate is illuminated by the symptoms of goodness, it should be understood that one has developed the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one can see things in the right position, one can hear things in the right position, and one can taste things in the right position. One becomes cleansed inside and outside. In every gate, there is development of the symptoms of happiness, and that is the position of goodness.
So what 2 things happen? See, this is very, very important, and you will experience it. I'll give you some example. It's a little gross, but please listen. It is important. So you will be able to connect. 2 things I said in goodness. What 2 things I said happens? Jnana and sukha. Those 2 things also happen in every sense. See, this is what he's saying. Every gate will experience happiness and knowledge. Knowledge how? By knowing whether it will intake or not. I'll give you the example of happiness. Imagine you have eaten a lot of sweet. So the bottom part starts to irritate. If you have eaten very, very spicy food, the below part will start to feel a little bit itchy. Why it is happening now? See, now that anus or genitals part is no longer feeling happiness. Right? In fact, your tongue also will feel very, very hard if you have eaten very spicy food. So it is mode of passion, mode of ignorance, like that. Right? So the gates will also experience certain emotions based on what kind of intakes we are having. Right? If let's say loud music is happening, like that, we see, in some, what do you call it, rock and roll? No, rock and roll, no. Whatever, hardwire, no, something we say, no. I don't know the name. What?
Disco.
Yeah, no, disco is still basics, man. Metal. No, which metal they are talking about. But when they do metal, like it's like ears only will break, like that, So you think ears are having a very good emotions? No. In mode of goodness person, he will feel the pain. Right? So, and what he will like soothing, like Veena, those kind of songs, mode of goodness will feel. Why? Because it gives happiness. You understood? Right? Other, if you don't understand, then go home and eat a lot of sweet. You will understand next day. Okay. Mode of goodness understood, right? The gates are having a torchlight, center fresh movement. Okay, 12th. Lobha pravrittirarambha. Karmaṇa spriya. Rajasetani jayante. Vivrite bharatarshava. What is this verse talking about? Which mode? Rajas. Abhi to correct, right? It is going goodness, passion, ignorance. Goodness, passion, ignorance. So now goodness complete. Now passion. Right? After this verse, after 14, 15, 16, we'll talk about death in 3 modes. The topic here is death in. We'll discuss next class. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, translation. Who wants to read? Okay, Mahek, you can read.
O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop.
Right? So, you see, there is another thing. You see, we eat, it has to be also released. Right? If you just keep it inside, it will get stomach upset. You have to also release. You see, that's how the entire nature is built. You take, you also give some. So similarly, even the money that we are earning, some part has to be given. Otherwise, it will cause indigestion. Not indigestion in the sense of stomach upset, but it will create a some kind of blockage in the mind, and you will start becoming more and more attached. So the money also that we are earning, it has to be used in some, one has to learn to donate it also to someone who is using it for high purpose. Not donate it, today I want to donate to this beer bar. Not that kind of donation. Donation to a person who is doing something for a higher cause. Could be hospitals, and that is basic. If spreading Krishna consciousness, even better. But that nature or that habit of donation or giving is very much needed, especially for a person who is in the tendency, who has a tendency of earning. Because whatever you're taking, some part has to be given to our capacity. It's not like you have to do this much only. Some people have some capacity, some people, but one has to have the nature of giving. In fact, we'll be seeing charity in 3 modes. That is also there. Everything can be divided in 3 modes. That's why it is very important. We can ask ourselves, hey, am I doing charity in mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance? Like that. We'll see that in future, but that nature has to be there. Otherwise, it will be attached. Like that. So this is mode of passion people. Right? Okay, let's do the purport. Who wants to read? Maybe what we'll do is we'll just read half. Okay, because of shortage of time. You want to read, Mataji?
One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. He hankers to increase his
Right, I want to increase, and become crazy. See, sometimes we get such a high position, and then we need some kind of intoxicant or something, so to keep our head down. Sometimes people do all those kind of things, but we have to realize that some level we have to understand that even if we achieve the entire world money, when we leave the world, nothing will be with us. Right? The bank account will be there, but the bank account holder will not be there. Right? That point we have to remember. It's not like now we have to stop working, okay, like this. We have to do our due diligence, whatever is needed. But we don't have to become crazy. 9 to 5, whatever I can achieve in that, that's good. That our model should be. 9 to 5 with that 1 hour break. That's it. If we are, and once in a month or twice in a month, some emergency is there, it's okay. But if every day that emergency is happening, that means there is something wrong. Either in our behavior, or in our manager's behavior, or in the company's behavior. We have to make a decision then. Otherwise, this entire life will just go like this. We will be ending up wasting. In next life, will become donkey. Why? Because Krishna will think, "Arey, this guy is perfect for this job. Let me give him a particular body which he can do. He'll do perfectly." Not Krishna, but the material nature itself, who does this service of giving appropriate body in the next life. People who are into mode of meat eating a lot, next life they get a body of tiger. We'll see that. I'm not saying. It is mentioned in the 3 death wale mein aayega. So people who have that kind of tendency, they'll get into that body. Because why? Then they can easily eat. Why do barbecue and all? So much effort. Directly go and eat. So that kind of. So based on your eating habits, you get certain kind of body. People who are only sleeping, full night sleeping, full day sleeping, next day they become trees. And people who are awake in the night, better you become owl than do whatever you want to do in the owl. I don't know how. A long time I have not heard owl. So you get body of the owl. Then you be awake full night. So base. And see, again, if you're in a position or some emergency, then it's a different thing. Then we use best, what do we call it? Best use of the bad bargain. But we don't hanker for it. Night time is sleeping time. We don't, now there's match going on, there's movie going on, this, that. In fact, devotional service also we should try to wind up. If you're saying, no, I'm going to read now. No, the modes will not allow so easily. We can read, it is good. But better you get up in the morning and you read. 4 a.m. is mode of goodness time. Like that.
If we want to construct a residential house.
Oh, I thought she was asking a question to me. Sorry. Go ahead.
If he want to construct a residential house, he tries his best to have a palatial house, as if he would be able to reside in that house eternally.
Right? Eternally. We want more bigger house. There is no end only. When I used to stay in my Mumbai apartment, 400 square feet. 4 people used to stay. And sometimes my granny also used to come home. 5-6 people sitting, 400 square feet. Itna. Usme 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. Everything is there. And still we were okay. We're happy. So people live palatial, this one. But they're still not happy. That is mode of passion people. Right? We have discussed enough of mode of passion. Anyways, we can look amongst ourselves, we'll know. So we'll go to the next verse. And after that I have to discuss the 10 things. That is very important. We will discuss the 10 things by which you can understand which mode we are in. Okay, last. Aprakasho. Aprakasho means darkness, right? See, nobody has a name. Aprakasho. Naam is Prakash. Right? Prakash. Prakash. Imagine. Yeah, if you're angry on Prakash, you can say Prakash. He will not understand, but your khunnas will be removed. Sorry. Okay, we'll start. Aprakasho pravrittischa. Aprakasho pravrittischa. Pramādo moha evacha. Pramādo moha evacha. Tamasyetani jayante. Tamasyetani jayante. Vivriddhe kurunandana. Vivriddhe kurunandana. What they are talking about now? Ignorance. Tamas. Right? Tamasyetani. And see, it's the same thing they are saying. Summarizing. Aprakasho. Complete darkness. They don't know whom to allow. They'll allow anyone and everyone. Pigs. See, stool, they are happy with eating stool also. Right? So, similarly, people who are drunkard completely, mode of ignorance is there. They don't understand only whether they are supposed to smoke, not smoke, drink, not drink. This is completely gambling, full night. See, you see, all the gambling houses will never have windows because they want to completely cover you. You see, you go to any, I've not been pre-2014. Pre-2014. So you go to any gambling house. Not a house, it is not a house. It's a sort of bhoot bangla only. But you see, it will be always, the windows will be, there are no windows only. Because you should not be able to see outside. Otherwise you say, that life is better. You have to be here and spend money. It's like that. Aprakasha is, you will completely darkness. You don't know whom to allow in senses, what should intake and what should not intake. Like that. Pramādo, madness, moha, illusion. Illusion is what? Now if I tell for a darkness person, you're not this body, you're spirit soul. He will not understand only illusion. He will always be in illusion that I am this body and I have to fulfill my desires. I have to fulfill my desires. I have to fulfill my body's desires. But a mode of goodness person will start at least to contemplate on it. Yes, maybe I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul. Because when the body leaves, I leave the body, and when I'm saying someone has gone, who has gone? And the body is still there. Who has gone? The mode of goodness will start understanding that. But mode of ignorance guy will not understand that. Because pramāda, madness is there and illusion. Okay, let's read. You will read, Ajay?
When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested.
Inertia is what? Procrastinating. You tell them some work, they will do after 1 week. They'll say, oh, sorry, I forgot. I'll do, Prabhu. I'll do 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If inertia is there, they will not do. Like morning, going to, let's say, for running, little bit running. They will start January. They will start some new resolution. By February, it is stopped. Again, they will start January. Again, February stops. That is inertia. That is people who are in mode of ignorance mode, like that, or not coming in mode of ignorance, but that aspect is working on them for particular this thing. Let's say for gym or for running race, whatever, some kind of exercise. They will not do that. Inertia is there. It's all mode of ignorance working. Right? You see, some as a manager, you tell some person some work, he'll keep procrastinating, right? And inertia is there, like that. Okay. Oh, this is purport is small. Okay, let's read quickly. Then I want to show you that verse. Ganesh, you will read.
When there is no illumination, knowledge is absent. One in the mode of ignorance does not work by a regulative principle. He wants to act whimsically, for no purpose. Even though he has the capacity to work, he makes no endeavor. This is called illusion. Although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. These are the symptoms of one in the mode of ignorance.
So he is away, he is living, but he is as good as dead. Life is inactive, right? A drunkard person, you just think about it. Lying on the, or someone, sitting on the sofa full day. He's like a dead person only. At least for that day, he's like a dead person. Not in anything, life just wasted. That entire 1 day, he wasted, right? So it's like a dead person. That's what this verse is saying. Okay, now I will show you the verse which talks about how there are different things. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. And you can mark this so you also know. Okay. You can repeat after me. 7:55 p.m. Right? Okay. Agamopa prajadesha. Kala karma cha janma cha. Dhyanam mantrotha samskaro. Samskaro. Dashayate gunahetava. So dasha ete, these 10 things determines the what kind of guna you are in. These 10 things we will discuss. Agama. What does agama means?
To begin with.
That is also there. Agama also means scriptures. What kind of books you like to read? Some people like to read ghostly things, something like that, or some magazines, phaltu magazines, right? Or some people like to read some scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bharata. So which kind of books you like to read? Some people like to read Harry Potter. Some people like to read Hari Puttar, Bhagavata. So it depends on what kind of books we like to read. Agama. Agama means religious principles, right? Religious scriptures. Pa. What is pa? There is an apostrophe, right? So it is appa. Appa. What is appa? Not that South Indian appa. Appa. Water. Not water, jal. Or you can say liquid. What kind of liquid you like? You like that liquid? Or you like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, ye dil mange more. That liquid which is mode of rajas. Or you like coconut water. I see some people like coconut water. Hopefully everybody likes coconut water. Or simply water. Right? So what kind of liquid that one prefers? Like that way. Appa. Praja. What kind of association we keep? Sometimes people only like, friends are only like that. You know, all entrepreneurs, so person also, because there's nothing wrong in entrepreneur. Please understand. But it has to be regulated. For our own benefit, it has to be regulated. Right? Praja means what kind of association we are having. We should always hanker for having saintly association. Whenever there is sadhus coming in the ISKCON Silicon Valley, we should make sure that we are coming and hearing the class. Just by hearing from them, we get the inspiration to ask higher purpose of life. Just by hearing from a sadhu who has been living a very mode of goodness life. So always hanker for good association. Like I will tell you, in my college days, one thing I made sure that I have a association of all rankers. So we were like 7 friends of mine. We were 7. My rank was always 7th. And all the other 6 were like first 6 rankers. So at least, you are among that. At least even if you are doing worst. But okay. At least the top 7 are high. But look, obviously that is very, but you should try to have association of those kind of people. Jaisa rang, jaisa sang वैसा rang और वैसा ही ढंग. Right? वैसा ही ढंग. So you should have praja. What kind of praja we have? That kind of mode we will be in. Right? Desha. What is desha? Which place? Like I said, no, Bay Area. It is mode of rajas. We need to dovetail somehow if we have to be here. Right? Some place Rishikesh, you will see some little sattva is there. Vrindavan sattva is there. Like that. Some places have that. Like when you go to Sadhu Sangha retreat, you feel uplifted. It's a different experience. Like that. Right? Kala, time. Morning time is goodness, passion. Which time you operate the most? Some people get up 9 o'clock. So they have lost the entire mode of goodness. So they are operating more in passion and ignorance. Some people are awake full night. So they operate more in mode of ignorance. Like that. Kala. Karma. What kind of activities we are doing? Janma. Janma is how have we born and which family we were born. And obviously set planets and everything. All those come into picture. Janma. Based on that also we get our particular samskaras or particular entry point about which nature we are in. Janma. Dhyanam. With whom are we meditating on? Like there is a Rajnikant temple also. People worship. Like so like that. Then Amitabh Bachchan. There is also a temple for Amitabh Bachchan. So what kind of meditation we are doing? When we meditate on Krishna, Radha Krishna, Lord Ramchandra, then we get mode of goodness, Shuddha Sattva kind of nature. Right? But if we are meditating on Bruce Lee, Ye Lee, Wo Lee, then that kind of we'll just keep fighting with everyone. Right? See, getting inspired is one thing. That is still okay. Not meditating that I want to, in all the pictures, like how we have pictures of Radha Krishna here, Krishna Maya, there in their room they will see Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, those kind of filled up. Yeah, now you'll be thinking. So we don't want to meditate on those things. They are like, they have screwed up their lives. They are going to screw up our lives also. Not worth it. Not worth it. Right? So Dhyanam is on whom are we meditating? On some people have wallpaper also of Salman Khan, something like this, something would be there, right? Like Rajajivan Prabhu, he has 2 monitors. In one full monitor on the office only, he gives Radha Krishna's photos. Whoever comes, take darshan. Like that. So, yeah. So Dhyanam, on whom we are we meditating, right? Mantra. Mantra is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Which kind of mantra we are chanting? Ye dil mange more, that kind of mantra, or Hare Krishna mantra, which kind of mantra? And finally, samskara. What kind of samskaras we are doing? There are 16 samskaras, it is said. I'll quickly show that, then we'll end. There are 16 samskaras. If you see, before pregnancy, Garbhadan, Pumsavan, and Simantanai. Simantanai happens around 8th month. Then childhood rites, Jata Karma, Nama Karma, all this actually helps us in shaping our nature. Jata Karma, Nama Karma, Nishkramana, Annaprashan, then also with Vidyarambha, like Vaishi Maharaj had come home for Vidyarambha when Kishore is just about to start her education, like that. By the age of 8 years old, 13 samskaras are over. Only 3 samskaras are remaining. Samvartana, when you are graduating. Vivaha, depends if you are brahmachari or that. And when you are anarishti, when you are leaving this world. All these samskaras actually help us to mold our life. And now you might be thinking, but if I have not done any of these samskaras, then Krishna says in Bhagavatam, Devarshi Bhutatma Nirnam Pitranam. Maybe since we don't have time, next week we'll do that. But I'll share this verse. This verse is very important. That what are the 10 things that shape our consciousness or shape our nature. So quickly we'll read the translation, then we'll end our session. It's already 8 to 2. I don't want to take extra time. Who wants to read the translation? Someone, maybe middle, you can read. Rishiko. No, you can tell. You're studying.
According to the quality of religious scriptures, water, one's association with one's children or with people in general, the particular place, the time, activities, birth, meditation, chanting of mantras, and purificatory rituals, the modes of nature become differently from.
So what kind of things we are acquiring, what kind of water or liquid, what kind of scriptures, all this determines our moods. So this is from 11th canto Uddhav Gita, where in detail Krishna teaches Uddhava these 3 modes of nature. Okay, we will end here. Thank you very much for patiently listening. Next week we are going to have quiz. So please don't bunk. Yeah. Please attend. So, and it is fun, believe me, it is going to be fun. At least I had fun when we attended about two quizzes. So next week we'll have from verse number 1 to verse number 13 of chapter number 14. Right? It is all rhyming. So we'll end here. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. We'll have prasadam.